In this video, we will discuss how to use the Dodge and Burn tool to add value and create form on existing shapes. Let us begin by creating a new page. We'll use the 8.5 by 11 size. Please name it with your period, your first name, and please your last name. Also the name of the assignment. This one is shape to form. And we're going to call it 1 because there's going to be more than 1. I'm going to capitalize my name. Okay, so it's 8.5 by 11, US paper, letter size, 8.5, 300, perfect. Now our page is here. We want to rotate the page. So we're going to go over to the top where it says image rotation, and we're going to turn it 90 degrees clockwise. Is fine. Counterclockwise, we find there's no image there. I want to make this full size, so I'm going to go over where it says view, and I'm going to say fit to screen, or I can type in Command 0. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a page that's going to break up the space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to a new tool called the Selection tool. So right here, you'll notice it says Rectangular Marquee tool. We're going to use that. And it should be set at 0. My preferences haven't been reset. So here we go, at 0, and now I'm going to take and I'm going to make a selection of the about upper half, maybe 2/3 of the page. Here, let's go about 2/3. About like that. Okay, great. So now we have this space, and I want to put a color back there. I'm going to go to my color picker. I'm going to go with a cool color, so it's in the back. And I'm not going to go with the brightest color, because that would just defeat the purpose. You want something that's going to rest in the back. I'm going to use that bucket tool, which you guys are aware of, and I'm going to pour it in. Now I'm going to go over to the top where it says select, and I'm going to deselect. That means this area is going to fill. We have a white space here. Because of that line, I can just pour a second color in and create a border, which I will. I'm going to pick a warm color. I'm going to pick something like a tan, and I'm going to take the bucket and pour it in. Notice it stops right at that line. So imagine I've created the blue as a background and the orange as a foreground. Usually things at the lower half of the composition appear closer to you. Things in the upper part of the composition appear further from you. Now we're going to go over to where that tool was, where it said Rectangular Marquee. We're going to choose one called Elliptical Marquee. And we're going to take it and make a circle. Now if you just pull it, you can make egg shapes. But if you hit the Shift key, you'll make a perfect circle. Now I'm just going to place that right there. Now I want to pick a separate color for that. So I'm going to go with... Here, I'll go with some nice green tone. I'll take that and I will pour it in my bucket. Now, if I pour it in the bucket, it's only going to do half. I have to do the second half. And I still have a weird ghost line in the middle. So another way to do that would be to get the entire selection, go to Edit, Fill, and ask it to fill it with the foreground color that you've selected. And now the entire piece is filled. Now, since we have that selected already, let us explore what we can do with it. Let us go to the Dodge and Burn tools. Dodge tool, if you notice, will make things lighter. And the Burn tool will make things darker, right? Now, that selection means I can only work in the selected area, so I can't do anything out here. It doesn't work. But in here, everything does work in the selection. So I'm going to begin with my Dodge tool, and I'm going to look at my brush size, make sure you're 0 hardness, and then I can take and explore how I want this to look. So here, I'm doing this in the upper part here. I'm just lightening it a little, just to give you an idea of what happens. I'm doing it again, and so forth, and you start to see that. Okay, I'm going to undo that. Sometimes it's best to begin with a big brush. I just tapped it twice, and then just kind of go around it, like that, expanding it, that creating a highlight. The opposite of a highlight would be a shadow. So I'll take the Burn tool again, I'll make it a reasonable size, and I'm going to go around the edge here. So a highlight on one side, and a shadow on the other. And it starts to give you the idea of depth. So that looks pretty neat. It's going to take a little practice, but that's been accomplished. I'm going to deselect, go up to the top, say deselect, or I could hit Command D. And now I'm ready to address and do another piece here. So what I want to do is I want to make a selection, just like that. We're using this tool here called the Magic Wand tool. I click on the blue section and I select it all. Now I'm going to take that burn tool that I had a moment ago, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to burn along the lower edge, going up a little bit at a time, but really darkening down here up. Just going over it many times. So now we see we've got this kind of shadowy area. I can bring it up a little more if I want. And I can take that and I can hit deselect. So I go to select, deselect. And now I have the lower part of my composition here. So what I want to do is I want to take and make a selection using the Magic Wand tool of the beige area. I'm going to take and I'm going to use the burn tool and I'm going to burn a little bit of shadow underneath the ball here like that. So I get the idea of there's maybe a little shadow there. And the closer to the object, and notice I'm not burning the ball. That's because I've got just the beige section selected. And now across the bottom, I'm going to make my brush big. I'm going to use the shift key and just go straight across like a couple of times. Let's bring this low just to get this edge done right at the bottom. What I'm doing is I'm making the bottom darker so it looks a little bit more here, and we move away from the ball. Let's see. Now if I hit deselect, I look like I have a ball on a table that has some nice shadows on it. So that completes this project.